Center and direction. The work has two parts. Uh, in order for us to be able to live this life outside of the realms of confusion and also participate in the game of life, there is kind of two skills that we need to work with. The first skill is what we call center. Center is the essence of my mind, and my emotional system can run and be scattered, and I can be kidnapped by my own mind and kind of be all over the place. And so the first thing I want to learn to do is to find my center. This thing we can do in various practices, meditation, inner walk, and other practices. There's always coming up another challenge, because once I'm in my center, where do I want to take it? So, of course, when I'm all over the place, I want to find my center. But once I'm here, I need to find my direction. And the direction can be basically not something that is look like the target or the goal or something I want to achieve. It's more of like, how do I want to move? What is this thing that I want to cultivate into my life that will support me going forward in my journey? Sometimes we like to call it an intention. Intention can be generosity, can be gratitude, can be presence, can be practice, curiosity, and many other options. And this part of me choosing the intention is basically me trying to tune in to what will support me in my next steps. The way I will choose my intention can come from various places. Maybe there is a challenge that I'm working with. Let's say I discovered that there is anger in me, there is judgment, I have many expectations, and what I've realized that I don't have patience. So patient can be my intention. And once I start to work with this intention and practice this intention, it will help me to resolve the challenges that I have. So it helps me to understand where am I going with this. How do I work with the intention? So the practice is pretty simple. In the context of daily life, what I would do is that I will choose once a week an intention. It can be one or two. I recommend not to do more. And then every day during the week, I will spend 5 to 10 minutes with these two words, one or two words that I've chosen. And essentially, I will just bring them to my awareness. From that point, I can also play with them. I can just sit with it, but I also can play with this. So let's say if my intention is gratitude, so I can spend 10 minutes every day, write gratitudes. If my intention is patient, I can just sit and close my eyes and first of all bring this word into my awareness, and then maybe I can little bit scan the previous day where I could have practiced more patient, or where did I have the opportunity to be more patient, let's say. And also I can look at my upcoming days and see where today I have an opportunity to be patient. I'm going to talk with my mom, okay, that's a good reminder. Usually I'm a little bit triggered there, so maybe patient can support me there. And then by doing this every day, slowly, the word patient is becoming more and more into my daily life. And the more I practice it, it's become me. And then once the week is finished, I have another management meeting with myself and I choose my intentions again. I can choose different intentions every week, but I can also use the same intentions. So let's say I can work with patient for 6 months. It's not like just for 1 week, but it's important that I will choose every week my intentions. It's kind of like I'm recommitting myself to my teacher, because if I just take a teacher once and I forget that I chose it and I'm not gonna every week remind myself that, the teacher will leave me and I will not receive the teaching. So it's very important that every week I will look inside again and check if I want to change a teacher or I want to keep a previous teacher, and basically I sign the contract every week. I think the entire topic of finding my center is pretty wide. I will just say one thing. There is a moment that you find that you are at peace, that there is no noise. And from that moment, usually there is going to be kind of a soft question that might rise up, that might say, okay, what's now? And that's where basically the intention is coming in. We can work with the intentions not just as a weekly practice, that every day I remind myself my intention, but I can also use it when I do specific type of work. So let's say if I go to do a medicine ceremony, or let's say I'm going to a workshop. And what is happening is that once I'm focused on my intentions, everywhere that I take it, it will start to be manifested. The way it's being manifested is not necessarily just in the beauty. It can be also manifested in the darkness. So for example, if my intention is patient, the world will bring me opportunities to be patient. So don't complain when people annoying you when you choose the word patient. It's actually giving you an opportunity to find patient with people that annoys you. And then the practice is coming in. And also it will be the same with generosity. If you'll bring this intention into your awareness, you will see that the world is bringing you opportunities to be generous. And of course, when you're choosing a word, you can also study the word. Like the word generosity is, the teachings is very wide. You can be generous with money and resources. You can be generous with your time. You can be generous with kindness. You can be generous by allowing other people to be generous to you, by receiving, because that's when you give them to be in generosity. And when you give someone to be in generosity, you're actually acting out of generosity. When you're allowing people to see you, that's also an act of generosity. Being present with someone is generosity. So you see, the teacher has many different facets that you can work with. Another beautiful thing to know about this practice, that sometimes we can sit and contemplate for a long time, what is the teacher that I choose for this week? What is my intention for this week? And I think that's something that needs to come in an intuitive way and not to be taken too seriously. And the reason for this is, there is two reasons. One, because next week you can choose another teacher, so there is no reason to take it too seriously. And the second one is that all the teachers are interconnected with each other. So if you choose the teacher of patient, you will see that presence is rising with that. And when you're patient, you start to see that people look at you in like you're acting out of kindness. So when you're choosing patient, you're actually bringing in many other teachers. And the word that you choose is something that symbolizes something for you, that you can resonate with. Not resonate because you like it, resonating because you find it useful and for your path. So if I have anger issues, patient might be my teacher. Now, if you're going to angry people and tell them to be patient, they might get more angry at you because they don't like patient. So you see, it doesn't mean that you need to like your teacher, but you can identify that part of you that actually can see that that's what you need, and that can support you. We are choosing teachers from the light, meaning teachers from the light is the direction where we want to go, not where we are coming from. So let's say that there is a lot of tension in me, so my teacher will not be letting go of tension, because I'm constantly reminding myself the word tension in my head, and I'm constantly going back to my past. I need to find a word that can symbolize the direction where I want to go. So maybe if I have a lot of tension, maybe my teacher will be peace, and I want to study about peace. Peace, sometimes we take it like having peace in the world, but actually I'm talking about the inner peace, the peace between the voices inside of me, because those are probably the one who creates the tension that I have, or the tension creates those voices. So when I find peace, I'm actually finding ways to release tension out of my system. Choosing a teacher, it's like can come from some simple self-inquiry that is basically you can ask yourself, what is my troubles, what is my challenges, and from that place I can find a direction, because when I see where is my challenge, I can find a direction. Um, an example for that can be I don't know what to do, and I want to change job and my relationship, and I don't know, and a lot of confusion. So I find that I have confusion, and the medicine for confusion is clarity. So my direction will be clarity. Yes. Sometimes I will not understand the teacher at the beginning, and I will understand it as I stay with it. And sometimes I actually need to find a teacher that I can little bit resonate with. Because let's say if I take the teacher of patient, I think we all kind of understanding what does it mean, and it doesn't require a lot of philosophical complex concept in my mind. So sometimes I need to find a teacher that I can resonate, and sometimes I just look for the challenge, and then I can find the direction. I'll give an example. I'm bored. I don't find meaning. I don't know what to do. I don't have so much vitality in my life. It feels like I'm actually tired of this. And then maybe what rises now in me when I talk about it is the word adventure. Maybe I need to go on an adventure. I need to go to places that are outside my comfort zone. I need to experience things that I don't do normally. I need to meet people that I usually don't interact with. And that adventure might bring me a new sense of interest and curiosity into my life. And then I will find maybe something that like I will find my life force again, and so on. So that is kind of the process looking into that. I will say that with the years I've collected many words that can be suggestions to things that we can use as our intentions. I did this work with many people so far, so I have this list, and I will share this list also, so it can give some inspiration for people to look at and maybe get inspiration of what they can choose as an intention, and then maybe it can help to start the process. So we will also create a space for people to share their intentions, their weekly intention, and then we can also kind of collectively follow up on ideas and what we use as an intentions. So we're really inviting you to kind of bring your ideas into the space. I'll share something nice. In one of the latest workshops that I did this work, one of the girls, women there said that her intention is intention. And I was like looking at her and I was a little bit confused, like, what do you mean? And she says, I want to be focused on my intention of what I'm doing and why I'm doing things, as the intention is the source of the action. So I want to become more and more aware to my intentions when I'm acting in the world. And I find it a very beautiful intention. So we keep learning with this and doing the work together. When you're trying to figure out if the intention is working for you, like you've been using it for a week or 2 weeks, I think it will vary between different types of intentions, our potential to notice the effect of this. But usually what I would look at, I will ask myself kind of the same question that I asked at the beginning. For example, let's say the source of my intention was my anger, yeah? And so I might notice if my anger issues are still very vivid and alive in my daily life. And I might notice that I have less anger, for example. Or let's say if I go for adventure, that's pretty easy one to see. I will actually start to see if I'm actually more willingly doing things outside of my comfort zone. Yeah? So that can be some way. So in the weekly meeting, where I choose my intention, that's a very, well, like there is an invitation for you to actually ask those questions. and see if it's kind of helping you to choose maybe continuing with the same intention or choosing a different direction. Another interesting aspect to talk about is the difference between intention and expectation. And expectations is of the future. Intention is of the now. Intention is my next step. Intention is always available for me. Expectation, a lot of things need to happen until I will know if it's happening. Yeah? So intention is always available for us, and that's why we choose it, and we can always connect to it. Every moment we can connect to the intention. Expectation, I want to have a big house. Okay, that's in the future. I have to work, I have to save money, I need to look for a house. It might work, might not work, disappointment, a lot of maybe tension towards the expectation, and so on. Intention is now. If I choose patient, every moment I can be more patient. I choose generosity, every moment I can have generosity. It's not something I'm waiting for. It's something that I'm doing in my next step. It's something that I bring into my next action. And so it's a very big difference, and we sometimes mix the two words, and it's nice to see the difference between them. One of the tricky games of the mind is that we take the intention and we make it an expectation, which is actually, it can look very deceiving. Yes? So for example, my intention is to be patient. So, yeah, or my intention is patient. Oh, it's very tricky. Yes? Because if my intention is patient, I practice patient every day, that's fine. If I tell myself that my intention is to be patient, I actually make it a goal, I make it an expectation. Because now I need to become that person that is very patient. And when I want myself to become that person, I have developed an expectation for myself, which brings tension and will make me actually way less patient with myself. So that's kind of like self-attacking myself with so-called the practice of intention. So I'm not trying to be that thing, I'm just bringing it into my awareness as something that helps me to navigate. Of course, if I take the intention of patient, every day I will see that I can be more patient. And after I do this for 20 years, I will see that there is more patient that come. I think it was the Dalai Lama or Zen Master Thich Nhat Hanh, one of them said, every day I practice love and kindness and patience and those things. So, and compassion. It's a direction, it's an ongoing path. It's not something that we will ever reach. It's something that the more we cultivate, we just have more joy in our life. And we can always continue the practice. I actually think that when you practice patience, with day to day, you will feel an ease on the tensions that you carry in life. It doesn't mean that you don't have any more tensions. Yeah? But if now I carry 50 kilo, it's very heavy to move. And if tomorrow it's only 49, it's already a little bit lighter. And of course, there is more to do. So 48 and 47, and I will take some years, and it will be 20 kilo and 10 kilo. But every time you take something off your shoulder, it feels lighter. And I think that's the work with the intentions.